All right, let's talk about a game that, for all intents and purposes, should have been over. This is one of those stories that reminds you why you watch sports. An absolutely unbelievable comeback that just seemed impossible. 22. I want you to just look at that number for a second. That's how far behind the Charlotte Hornets were against the New Orleans Pelicans, down by 22 points. You know, in the NBA, a lead that big, that's pretty much a guaranteed win. Or so you'd think. So the big question is, how? How in the world do you climb your way out of a hole that deep, especially when everything seems to be going wrong? Well, we're going to break it down, because this wasn't just a comeback. It was one of the most incredible turnarounds we've seen all season. To really appreciate the comeback, you first have to understand just how bad things were. So let's start with the first half, which, to put it mildly, was an absolute disaster for Charlotte. And the stats here, they really tell the whole story. I mean, look at that three-point shooting, 7 for 30. They just couldn't buy a bucket. And then you add 10 turnovers on top of that. Yeah, that's how you end up trailing by 15 at halftime. They were just completely out of sorts. But wait, it gets worse. You'd think being down that much is bad enough, right? Well, just when it felt like they'd hit rock bottom, their star player, the heart of the team, went down with an injury. You can't even make this up. LaMelo Ball is hustling, trying to save a bad pass from going out of bounds, and he collides head-to-head with his own coach. He gets an eye laceration and has to leave the game. At that point, you gotta think, okay, this game is definitely over. But this is where the entire script gets flipped. Let's get into the second half, because this is where a story of pure resilience begins to unfold. It's truly something else. And then he's back. LaMelo Ball, injury and all, walks back onto the court. You could just feel the energy shift. His return wasn't just about getting a player back. It was like a shot of adrenaline for the entire team. It sent a message. We are not done fighting. And this right here shows you everything. It's literally a tale of two halves. Yeah, the Hornets scored a little more in the second half, but look at the other side. The Pelicans scored 64 in the first half, and the Hornets held them to just 31 in the second. That's not just playing better defense, that is a complete and total shutdown. And you know, this wasn't just the LaMelo show. You can see from the scoring that everybody stepped up. Sure, Ball led with 24, but you had Newbold, Miller, and Williams all chipping in with huge points. It was a true team effort, and the Pelicans had no answer for it. Okay, so they fought all the way back, the game is close. But now comes the hardest part, actually closing it out. It all came down to a couple of massive, unforgettable plays in the fourth quarter. This was the moment. After trailing for the entire game, not once had they been in the lead, LaMelo Ball just decides to take over. He attacks the basket, blows right by his defender, and throws down a huge two-handed dunk. And just like that, for the first time all night, the Hornets were on top. The place went crazy. But the game wasn't over yet. It was still on a knife's edge. And that's when the newly named Player of the Week, Brandon Miller, decided it was his turn to leave his mark. What a sequence. First, the defense. He picks the pocket of a really good defender at midcourt. Then he's off to the races, and he caps it off with this explosive, soaring one-handed dunk. That put them up by 9. It was the dagger. Game, set, match. And there it is, the final score, 102-95. An absolutely unbelievable victory, and it also happened to be their 7th straight win. Talk about a team on fire.
But here's the thing. This win wasn't just about one incredible night. It actually has some pretty huge implications for the Hornets season and their playoff hopes.
And this is why it matters so much. With that win, the Hornets are now just a half game behind the Atlanta Hawks for that final play-in tournament spot. All of a sudden, the postseason doesn't seem like a long shot. It's right there for the taking. So it all leaves you with this one big question. A win like this, a comeback this epic, it's more than just a notch in the win column. It can change the entire mindset of a team. So can this single moment of incredible resilience be the thing that pushes them into the playoffs? I guess we're all going to have to keep watching to find out.